Now, yep, there go the Hellions.
He is dropping a second factory, and he put one of the factories on the tech lab. So he is getting the blue flame out for the Hellions. In the
Yep,
meantime, Speedlings are just about ready to be finished, and we
in the
are,
nick of time.
yeah, exactly, just in time to deal with these Hellions, especially on the creep. This is definitely going to push the Hellions back and possibly pose a little bit of an issue for the blue flame. Um, he won't really be able to get around too much with those. They won't. I don't think they're going to be able to do enough damage compared to what the Zerg is already prepared for.
Yeah, although they might not be the best for doing damage at this point, I'm not going to say what I was going to say because they just got taken out. I was going to say they could be used for vital scouting information, but
Not
they
anymore.
might not
They
be.
were Zelnaga Watchtower Guardians, and they just failed at their job to a couple of little, or to a lot of littlings.
Oh, the attack moving in for Shumo. He is going to take out all the drones in the natural, or all the SCVs rather. Just A moving in there, just everything's going down. Mule down, SCVs down. The Marines are just very late coming in to deal with it, and oh, the Zerglings are going to get away with their lives. That must be humiliating if you're an SCV
He
to
did
know that you let the Zerglings get away after they killed so many people.
he did some devastating damage, taking out a lot of SCVs there, and that's going to force Myriad to have to harvest her up. But Myriad decides, you know what? You're going to be aggressive, so am I. And Myriad is moving out with these blue flame hellions, backed up by his Marines. And I think he's going to be putting on his aggression now. He's definitely going to put on his game face and say, you know what? You come take out my drone or my SCVs. I'm going to take out your drones.
And the Blue Flame is absolutely done right now. I mean, he's going to be able to just come in and just roast those drones into the dust. Queens Queens transfused each other already this early into the fight, but here come the Marines. The Queens are going to go down. Only one spine call. I don't know what Shumo is going to be able to do to defend against this right now. The drones are
It
absolutely blocked up, and Shumo is just crumbling underneath the pressure. I mean,
and
there's
Shumo
it's GG for
GG's.
Shumo.
That was a
Wow.
very, very good game to play. Myriad did a great job there putting that pressure on Shumo. And even though he lost his SCVs, he did come back even harder.
Yeah, I mean, he knew it. He knew that Shumo expanded that early, and he knew that I can punish him for expanding that early, and he had to wait a little bit longer than he thought he was going to have to with that Zergling attack, but the Zergling attack was an all-in, and he didn't have enough to defend his base after that, and Myriad knew it, and he took advantage of it.
I kind of wish that we would have seen Shumo drop some more spine crawlers to help fend that off, but you're absolutely correct. He went in with those Zerglings, and even though he saved a few of them, it just wasn't enough to hold off the attack, and he was more focused on droning.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and a lot of times, opting to drone is absolutely the way to go if you're a Zerg player, but if you're not scouting enough to know what's coming for you, then it could be very bad. And as it has been for all Zerg players today, I mean, scouting is key. Scouting is absolutely key.
It's the biggest game breaker right there. A lot of people just don't scout as much as they should, and scouting makes the biggest difference. You don't know what to do,
Yep.
and especially a Zerg. Zerg really need to scout because if you go up blindly as a Zerg, you don't know what you're going up against. If you go up against a hard counter, I mean, you're just flat out done for. You have to know what you're doing. You're a reaction race.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exactly what it is. It's a reaction race. And whoever has the quickest reaction is going to win a reaction race. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
You said it, plain and clear. So
This,
now we're on Shakuris Plateau.
yep, this is actually a very interesting map on MLG because it eliminates cross spawns, or not cross spawns, but close spawns rather. So this is actually a very interesting map to have right now.
They do spawn both on the top, opposites of each other, obviously, and I think that's gonna be really interesting to watch. I mean, right here, the Terran player can pop out some Reapers and really go for a fast harass on the Zerg player. And I kind of hope that he does take advantage of that little pathway between the two bases.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see people do that. But the pathway used to lead right up into the main, and they actually changed that for the MLG map. It leads right to the third now, interestingly enough. And the bases between are not golds. There is no high yield on this map. But you could very easily secure a third on this base.
You really could. And, it's kind of what we were saying about the other map is that securing your other bases would be easy just because it's scattered. So I'm thinking that we're going to see some more aggression coming from Myriad again. He seems like he's, excuse me, a big fan of early aggression.
Yep, Myriad has absolutely been a fan of early aggression as he's shown through this whole game. And while they're doing their pretty standard openings right now, I would like to take a second to say that if it wasn't for Stimulus Gaming right now, we would not be having this tournament. So that's actually a little bit of a shout out to stimulusgaming.com for putting this whole tournament together, and a shout out especially to Thunders for helping everyone organize everything and really putting this into notion.
Absolutely. It's been a lot of effort in getting this tournament up and running. Started off with a few players, and Thunders really did a great job of getting Stimulus Gaming up and running. If you haven't checked out our new website at stimulusgaming.com, we moved over from a different site, and it looks fantastic. The forums are growing. We're getting lots of hits a day, and people are just really contributing to the community. So right now we had Shumo try to move a drone into the base, and he was denied. He did not have VIP access to scout the space out and to hang out with the rest of the SCVs. He was just trying to be friends, but it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, some drones are actually really nice when you get to know them, but if you're a Marine, you don't care. You are programmed to kill, and kill is what you do. I mean,
They don't really have time to be, anything but nice. I mean, their lives are usually
yeah.
sacrificed to produce some building. Somehow they transform into these awesome buildings. So we do have the natural up for Shumo, if I didn't already say that, and we will be having a factory going online for Myriad. Reactor going on the barracks, so it's kind of the same thing we've already seen from him. I was hoping to see some Reapers, especially to take advantage of that little pathway, but I'll see that another time.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll get to see Ravens or battle cruisers. You rarely see battle cruisers in
you know,
tournament games.
if I see a battle cruiser, then I will be very happy. But, the chances of it on Shakuris, most games don't go to that level of tier on Shakuris. Even if it is a macro game, you tend to stick with more mobile units just because of the awkward mapping of this map. There's random places of water, there's random... It's just a weird map to try to navigate and try to have control over. So a lot of times you're going to see people sticking to a more mobile army. They can still do a lot of damage and they can still win games.
Agreed. And actually, speaking of battle cruisers, I believe I recently watched a replay by HD StarCraft, and it was a planetary fortress rush in the natural, moving in with battle cruisers. Now, back to the game. We do have two Hellions moving out in the field. He is doing the same build as he did before, getting up those Hellions. He's producing his Marines. At the same time, our Speedling is almost finished, and he does queue up the Blue Flame Hellions he does queue up Blue Flame to get ready for the Hellions. So he is doing the same build that he did before.
Yeah, he is opting to get Blue Flame, but he's not opting to produce more Hellions. And right now, Shumo, knowing that he does this kind of Hellion play, has more than enough Zerglings and Queens ready to just take that out, making sure that he can, macro up and get a higher tiered units that are absolutely going to try to crush the Terran player. He wants this game to go in his favor so that we can see an ace match here in the semifinals of the first Stimulus Gaming tournament.
And now I think Shumo is definitely doing the right play by getting up his Roach Warren. And I have to give him props. He got that Zergling surround. I don't know if you noticed it, but he really
Oh,
put those
absolutely.
Zerglings in a great position around those Hellions to trap them in and prevent any sort of escape, roasting away those Hellions. Now he's attacking the natural again. He does lift the natural off, and he's just going to deny that expansion from getting down and up and running as soon as as long as possible. In the meantime, the Terran player can't really push out just yet with what he has. So he is denying this expansion, which is a huge deal for the Zerg player. At the same time, he's going to scout with this Overlord and find out what is going on in this base. He will see the tech lab